right, welcome to today's episode of Tomorrow's Leader, where we dive deep on all things leader related to leading yourself and leading others. I am John Laurito, your host today, tomorrow, every day thereafter for the rest of your life. So I recently had a very traumatic experience in the morning. I normally have my normal routine, of which one of the things I do is step on the scale. And I am 6'3", 245 pounds, and recently I saw a number there that I had never seen before in my life, and it was 250. And it was alarming. So immediately my thought was, wow, did I grow? Did I get taller? I mean, that would explain it, obviously. And I snapped out of it. But truthfully, I did say in my mind, okay, well, what is wrong with the scale? There's got to be a problem with the scale. In fact, I stepped off and I stepped back on. I stepped off, I stepped back on. I stepped off, I stepped back on. Still the same weight. And I'm thinking, okay, either the scale is definitely just not calibrated right, or maybe it's not lying right on the floor. I got a tile floor in my bathroom. So I'm like, maybe it's a little uneven. I moved it around, stepped on again. Sure enough, that same number, 250, staring back at me. And I'm just, totally dumbfounded. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. The prior week in particular, and it was over a course of a week, I had eaten really well. I had, worked out every day, almost every day. I mean, nothing was dramatically different. And so I, concluded that it's a problem with the scale. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So I went to Amazon, did some research, found a great scale. I put it in my cart, just about to press the buy button. And I just realized, okay, how about taking some ownership, John? All right, let's actually really think back to the last week, and let me think about how my diet was and exercise and all that stuff. And as I started to go through it, immediately, which we all do, we tend to give ourselves credit for the things that we do well, or more credit for the things we do well, and we turn a blind eye to the things that we don't do well. So immediately I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I had quinoa and tuna, a few lunches. I had salmon. I had broccoli. I ate healthy. I had eggs. I kept a really pretty stable diet and a good diet. And then I realized, yeah, that's right. I did have that Chicago deep dish pizza. And then Saturday afternoon I had a burger. And then I had brunch on Sunday. And that was bacon and all kinds of stuff and hash browns. And yeah, you know what? I had tacos one night. I had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I had all kinds of stuff that didn't normally fall into my diet. And I started to look at that. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I guess I did. Actually, I went out to eat like 5 times that week, the 5 nights that week. I basically had no semblance of the diet that I really gave myself credit for having. And it's interesting because, we do that all the time. We do that. And I started using a long time ago an app called LifeSum, which I got away from. And that was great because every day I'd put in what I ate. It would calculate how many calories, would count how many carbs, protein, all that kind of stuff. And it was staring at me right in the face. So you cannot deny this is what's going on. This is the behavior, the activity that's leading to this potential result. I should not have been surprised. I was surprised because I wasn't tracking it. So one of the things I talk about with leaders all the time is just the importance of self-awareness. Most successful people in general and leaders in general have a very high level of self-awareness. They don't turn a blind eye. They are brutally honest with themselves about what they are doing that's contributing to success and what they're doing that's not contributing to success. And sometimes we need some help to figure that out. And that's where tracking comes in. So if there's a part of your life or a goal that's important to you, are you tracking the things, the activity, the behaviors that go into accomplishing that goal? So if I'm training for a marathon, am I tracking my pace? Am I tracking how many runs I do? Am I tracking how I feel? Am I tracking what I put into my system, my body before a run, and how that makes me feel? That brings a heightened level of self-awareness. As a leader, sometimes it's hard to know where we're good, where we're not, what we're doing right, what we're not, because people just shy away from giving you feedback, especially if you're in a leadership position. It's sometimes tough for people to lead up to you, but you can ask for feedback. You can get a coach that's working with you that's going to provide that feedback. He or she can see you in action maybe, or go through different scenarios and ultimately give you some really valuable feedback to be more self-aware. Again, we give ourselves more credit than we should, and we then feel better about the things that we should not feel good about, and that's prevents us from changing our behavior. So think about this for a minute. How much time do you spend on your phone every single day? Okay, and just estimate. And then the other estimate is how many times a day do you pick up your phone? Just estimate that and think about that for a minute. Write it down if you're in a position to do that. Okay, now if you have an iPhone, go to your iPhone, go to your settings feature or button. And if you look at that second group down there to where it says screen time at the bottom, hit that button. Now, if you go to the right about the halfway point of that screen, right below the bar graphs, you'll see it says see all activity. Click that. And now you will see what your daily average is for time on the phone. It's probably a lot more than you thought it was. If you scroll down a little bit, it will tell you what apps you use. Now, when I saw that I had a lot of hours per day, 7 hours per day, I'm thinking, okay, well, that's, I'm doing emails, I'm on calls, I use my phone a lot. But in reality, if I look down and I see apps, that will verify what I'm using my phone for. So if I see TikTok up there, that's probably not reality business versus if I saw email or phone or something like that. That's the beauty of this thing. And then if you scroll down even more, it'll tell you how many times you picked up your phone. Was it 10? Was it 200? This is reality. So sometimes we refuse to accept the fact of what reality looks like. Sometimes we don't even want to know those numbers. But if you're truly committed to change something and change your own behaviors or change your organization's behavior, you have to track it. There's just two ways, easy ways you can increase self-awareness. Track what you're trying to be self-aware of. Track the things that you're doing that will lead to the result you're trying to get to, and look at it. Don't just track it, but look at it. And secondly is get feedback, get outside perspective so that you take your blind spot out of the way. That is very valuable, very easy. Two easy things you can do to become more self-aware. So there's your lesson for today. Hope that was helpful. Again, as always, I love your ideas and suggestions on different topics and guests, so please keep them coming, as I know many of you are doing. If you haven't checked out my book on Amazon, Tomorrow's Leader, How the Best Leaders Get Better in a Fast-Changing World, it's out there. Take a look. Greatly appreciate your reviews and your feedback. And as always, like, subscribe, share this show, and go down below, give a 5-star rating. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.